Hello everyone, welcome back in my YelpCamp in React tutorial. Today we will start by adding client-side validation to our forms. There are three very popular libraries to manage forms in React, and those libraries are React Hook Form, Formic, and Final Form. And I will go with the last one. React Final Form, straight to documentation, and simple installation via npm. That's on our front end. Okay, now let's start the application. Okay, let's go to /gyms. So here is where we want to add our validations. So let's go to our new form. Two basic elements we are importing from React Final Form, form and field. Okay, let's get this entire form. Squeeze it in under the handler on form submit. Okay, here maybe I will call it new gym form. We will not validate on the form level, we will validate on the field level, so this line can be deleted. And there is three ways to display the field: passing input component like this, right? Then pass a render function, or render function as a children. So this is what I'm going to go for. So those two we can delete. We're going to take this div and paste it right here. Okay, we don't have on submit function, but we have on farm submit. Okay, name is not phone as title. Okay, we don't need this h2 here. Let's try to display it. New gym form. Okay, maybe on top here. Okay. So we have to pass this input right here, just like this, and on this meta object we have access to many different properties, like has the field has been touched, is there an error, is the value the same as initial value, and loads of stuff like this. So here I'm going to use it to add another class to our input. So curly braces, string template literal. We have form control for sure, and then if it was touched, so meta touched. If so, check if it's valid. So if there is an error, it's not valid. Meta error. Is invalid. Otherwise, the adding class is valid. That should highlight the input with a green color. Okay, meta, if it's touched, check if it's an error. So if it's not touched, don't add anything to the class. Okay, save and let's see how it goes. Yeah, so we have this green check mark and a green border around the input, obviously because we don't have any validation, so there is no way to be an error here. Okay, so we can add like a validation div that says looks good underneath over here. Let's make it a separated one. And that would take meta as one of the props. So if meta was touched, if there is an error, then return div with class invalid feedback, and inside we just display the error. Otherwise, return me a div with class name, and here we should have class name as a class name. That's a valid feedback. Looks good, let's say. So if it was not touched, return nothing, so return null. Okay, and that validation div we should place over here. We're passing the meta from here. Okay, let's save it and let's check if it's working. So I'm here, leaving, looks good. Okay, so for a validation to have chance to fail, let's add a simple one. Let's say it's a required field, right? So this validators is simple. There will be simply functions that are taking input value as an argument, and they return error if there is something wrong. So if there is value, error is undefined. Otherwise, error message would be acquired. Okay. Now, on the field level, we can pass validate, and it will be this required function. Okay. Save, and let's see. The field is untouched. I visit. I don't put anything, and when I get out, I get invalid feedback and error message here. If I put something here, it's already out changing the validation for positive feedback. Okay, so it's checking in the real time. As soon as it's empty, we get the feedback again. Before the form grows, I will move the validation to the other file. Okay, so let's get rid of here, and okay, in the source I will make another folder, say helpers, and another file validators.js. Okay, and here export const required, our first validator. Okay, and back in our new file, import everything from let's go higher than that, helpers validators. Okay, everything as validators. Okay, and now over here will be validators dot required. Save. Let's see if it still works. Okay, I put something, looks good. Okay, all good. This validation div can be removed as well to the other file. So let's cut it off. That will be just components, so components directory, inside here new file, validation div .jsx. Okay, oh, maybe just like that. Okay, so it's taking one property meta. Okay, now let's import it in our new file. Validation div. Okay, should still work. Okay. Next two fields, location and image, they are exactly the same, so I'll just copy what we have. So let's get our field. So it will be location. Just like that. Next one will be image. Okay. Okay, next one is the price is a little bit different because we have this dollar sign. So still let's copy that. Okay, so that's the div. We'll paste it, still validate it on the bottom. Same thing for the class name. Then change this for price. Okay, let's see what we have. Okay, we got it. It's not getting validated. We didn't pass input here. Okay, let's see now. Okay. Validation div is a little bit too low, so it should be over here. Okay. description we are missing. Again, I would copy something that we have already over here. Okay, just change input to text area. Description. Let's check it. Okay. We have to change this submit button. Okay, we can get rid of the old version. So all this form is closed after here. We delete it. Okay, save. There we go. Okay, so I don't want user to have possibilities to click this button if anything is missing, if any of the validation has failed. Okay, and in React Final Form the practice is quite straightforward, because we are getting this, well, we are getting many different things, but one of the things that we have in that render function here is invalid. So that will check if any of the validation has failed. Okay, so now we take in this property, and on our button over here we simply add disabled if it's invalid, and that's it. Now you cannot submit the form unless everything is filled up. Okay, so title gym, location San Francisco, image whatever, price 45, and if I don't put description, it's not gonna get on. Only when I start typing, all the validations I pass, and I can press the submit button. I don't like this last div over here. It's moving the button down too much, so I will remove it. You can leave it if you want. Over here, we don't need this. Okay, now we have that on form submit function over here, and that function is called with all the values from the form. Okay, so here it's not even anymore, we have values. Let's remove it for now. Comment out the call, and let's just console log what we have. So let's say amazing gym in Tokyo, image anything, price 34, and description fantastic gym, a little bit expensive. Okay, so you're getting each of the values of the fields here. So const gym equals, and we spread all the values that we have. again, and then we're sending that gym. Okay, I think we're good to go to try it out. Let's remove those two lines and let's try it now. So again, Asian gym in Tokyo. I don't know what's this image, but let's see. Price 45. Very trashy and dirty. Okay, submit. Okay, there we go. It all worked. I just realized I'm getting infinite calls on the show page, so we have to fix that. Okay, so in the show page we are getting the gym, and yes, so this is changing the state, but this use effect is running each time the component is re-rendered, so we have to just pass an empty array over here, and that should do the trick. Okay, again, view. Okay. We just have to get rid of that warning from the index page. So that will be gyms. So we have index here already. We can make it key equal to that index, and that would do the job. Okay. Another thing we have to look after is we want more validations than just something to be required. For example, in the moment in the price tag I'm able to write anything and it looks good, so we have to fix that. So first of all, we have to add validation that checks if it's a number. Let's say must be a number. So again, it's going to take value. Check if value is not a number. If this is true, it will return error that it's saying must be a number. Otherwise, error would be undefined. Value, okay, like this. Now in our new form on the price tag, first we have to write another function that would reduce our validators to 1, so we can just pass it into validate right here. I have it here written on the side, so it would be something like this. Takes all the validators, checks the value against each of them and reduce the error, so basically we will see the error of the first validator that fails. Okay, so save it, and now it should be something like this: validators, compose validators, and we have required, and second one would be must be a number as well. Okay, we have it on the price tag. Let's check it out. First we leave is required, put text, now we see must be a number. Okay, we also want to put some minimal price, so it cannot be a negative number, so that would be a validator that would take another argument, right? Okay, let's say over here min value, let's say. Okay, so first it would take a number that would be the minimal allowed number, so let's say min, and that would take a value of the input, and check if that value is bigger or equal than minimal one. If it is, error is undefined. Otherwise, should be greater than. Should use backticks over here. Okay. Here $sign curly brackets min. Okay. So back in our new form, we want to add it over here as well. So validators min value, and here we want to pass, let's say, number 10. Okay. So price. First, it has to be required. Then it must be a number. Then should be greater than 10. Now it looks good. Okay. Next thing to do is to add the validations on the edit form as well, right? So again, I'm going to grab entire form. I think it's up to here. Okay. Let's go to edit. Okay, we have to import field and form. React final form like this. Fine. Will be edit gym form. We need validators as well. Import everything as validators from helpers validators like that, and we need validation div as well. Import validation div. Okay, now let's display it. So I'm getting rid of old form completely. Save, and let's see what we have. So let's go to gyms, wild house, edit. Okay. So as you can see, initial values has not been loaded. There is many ways in React final form to set initial values. We are allowed to pass it on the form level over here. It could be like ini, and here we can pass entire object. But keep in mind that when we calling our API and we are getting this data from the gym, we're getting stuff like _ID from Mongoose. So we would need to remove it later on, because if we would submit the form back, those values would be included, so they have to get stripped somewhere on the way. So in this particular scenario, I would just set initial values on each of the field. So instead of setting default value on the input, I can set initial value over here. Okay, so let's go just one by one. gym title, right? Here would be gym location. Gym price. Sorry, here is gym image. Here would be gym price. And in the description will be gym description. Alright. Okay, everything gets loaded. So now, if I haven't changed any of these values, I don't want submit button to be available. So we have another property in the render method. It's called pristine. Okay, we take this pristine and we go to the bottom. On the bottom, so make it disabled if it's invalid or pristine. Okay, now we have to change. The button is not working. We have to change something. House says. Now we can click the button. Okay. Let's check the Axios code that we're making now. We are going to get rid of everything in here. Again, pretty much the same drill. We have values and we will spread these values over here. Okay. One more dot. We don't need that. We don't need that. Let's check entire story. So we are in the gyms. We select one of them. We change the price, so we want to edit the price. When we come on the screen, we cannot press the button because we haven't changed anything. So we change $94 to 110. Okay, now our button is available. So submit, and there we go. The price got updated. Next thing we have to do is to handle our errors in some way. I'm not very keen of doing it the same way as it's done in the cold scores, where we have a screen and we display all the stack on the screen, and then only when we move it to the production we hide this stack. But yeah, maybe we can display a screen that is just saying that is an error, even though we could do the same. We could obtain the same result as code does. So first of all, maybe I will add a middleware on the backend. So we have to add another route over here. Well, it's not a route. So it would be app.use. So we have error, request, response, next. Okay. And if this happens, we will just manually set the status. So reds.status 500 for now, and we can send the actual error like this. Okay, then let's wrap maybe the update route, try and catch block. So try this, otherwise pass error to the next. So here would be next error, like that. Okay, we will try to trigger it by sending the wrong form of price, but to do so, on our edit screen we have to disable validation, because we have over here. Okay, like this, we should be able to send the wrong data, send the price that is the string. Okay, so edit. I will keep my console open. Edit, and instead of 110 I want to say 7. Okay, and we have error 500 over here. So already we didn't get redirected. Yes, because we didn't get the normal response, we get a 500 response. So here we will add some logic. Let's say if response.status is 200, then you navigate like that. Else also navigate. Just to slash error, let's say. Okay, we could pass over here second argument of state, and we can pass entire error or whatever we want to display on the error page. But as I said, I will not do it. We don't have that route on the front end, so let's add screen first of all. So it's new file, error screen.jsx. Okay, let's import it to our app.js. Edit, this maybe should be higher over here, and here we can import error screen like that, and maybe over here error screen like this. Okay, let's check if it's working again. 6. Okay, so Axios actually doesn't let me do it this way. So rather than that, okay, so here we can do catch error. Okay, that should work. Again, C6, submit. Okay, and we have error screen over here. Let's edit that error screen then. Div of class of row. H4 with class alert and alert danger. Okay. And here, sorry, something went wrong. Just like this. Okay, save. That's fine, and we want the button to be able to go back to the previous screen. So that would be probably under this div. Button with classes btn warning, or you can do danger as well, I don't really know. And here on click handler, and that would be a function. I've done a mistake and I haven't recorded my refactor what I've done here, so please have a look. I'm importing use navigate from React router, make an instance of that hook over here, and then in the function I'm passing navigate -1, and that button should bring us to the previous screen. Also, the classes that I had on the H4 I moved on the div, and I added H4 with alert heading class over here. Okay. Next thing is we are going to add our express error class to the backend. So in the backend directory I'm adding another folder, calling it utils, and inside that folder we have express error.js. Okay, so export default class express error extends normal error. Okay, and here we need to have constructor taking message and status code. Calling super, and then just binding this. Okay, and this status code equal status code. Okay, and second utility that we need is a catch async wrapper function. So another file here, catch async. Okay, so similar, it's a function that takes function and it returns back the function that is executing it, but it's catching catches error and passing it into the next. Okay, so we can add it now into our routes instead of try catch right here. We didn't import it, so import catch async. Now in the update route, catch async, and grabbing entire function over here. Okay, so now yeah, we can test it again, and maybe we add something to be displayed in the terminal over here, just like 40F. Okay, save, back to the application. We say 6. Okay, something went wrong, and here you can see F, so we have been redirected to this middleware over here. Here we can go back. Okay, we can add it to all of the routes that we have right here. Okay, so that would be here, here, over here as well. Okay, and now just on the end we need another set of parentheses. Here, here, here. Here already have it. Here. Okay. There we go. Now I'm going to add 404 error to our API if, well, we should really never hit it, but if somebody does, we can handle that. So it will be app.all, and here we just put star that represents anything, so it has to be after everything else, right on the bottom. Request response next. So straight away just call next and pass a express error. I think we didn't import it. Express error, back down, next, so new express error. This route doesn't exist, okay, and second argument is status code, so 404. Extends error. Okay, here we have too many R's. Alright. I'm going to refactor this bit over here then. So I'm gonna destructure the status code and message. Default value 500. The message something went wrong. Okay, and this should come from error. Okay, and here instead of hard-coded 500 I will pass status code. I don't know if I want to send the message or I want to send entire error. Okay, but let's say I want to send the message. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to add joy schemas to our backend. So I'm stopping the backend now. I will install joy. Might take a while. Okay, we got it. And now in our backend, maybe just in top directory, new file, let's call it joy schemas.js, just like that. Here we'll import joy from joy. Okay. And we will create a gym schema. So const, how to call it, gym joy schema, just because we have another schema for mongoose. So this joy.object, okay, and here is our gym. Let's joy object again. Not like this. Okay, and here we will put properties of the gym. So we have title, the string, so joy.string, and it's required, right? So when Joy will be checking the schema, we have to check if the title is a string and if it's there. Okay. Another one, next one will be price, and this one must be a number, required, and it has to be minimum 10, we said before, right? Next one is image, so it has to be a string. has to be required but doesn't have minimal value. Then we go for location. Okay, and the description will be the same. Okay, and all this object is required as well. Right, so now we can require it in our app. Require import for gym joy. We didn't export it, I think. Okay. All right. So how are we going to use it? Really, we are going to make a middleware function that we are going to call it validate gym. So const validate gym request response next. And then we want to do gym choice schema dot validate, and we want to validate the entire body, so request dot body. Okay, we can do result, but we are really interested only in error part of that, so let's destructure error. Okay, and now if there is error, then we want to create a message. This is not something I remember, I just have it here written on the side. If there is more than one error, we want to map over it and extract the messages and join them together into the one message. Okay, so each element get only message from that element. Okay, and then join it with comma and space, right? And then we can throw new express arrow. Throw new express error, and we will pass message as a message, and status code will be 400. Okay, so that's if there is error. Else, if there is no error, we're just going to call next. Okay, so let's add it now to our routes when we create the gym, so that's new, and when we edit the gym. Okay, so before catch async we will validate gym like that. Okay, and the same goes for when we update. Okay, so now we have to figure out the way of triggering that. Okay, we need to start our server backup. pm run dev. Oops. Gym schema. Okay, I just didn't save the file before, I guess. Okay, I think we still have front-end validators off. Yeah. So we can pass something less than 10 because we set up the minimal price to be less than 10. So let's say 5 and try to submit it. Okay, something went wrong and we have 400 bad requests. If we go back, let's change it to 12. Oh, so we are getting gym is required. So we done something wrong with shape of our request. We have to model the payload. Okay, first on the front end, we would send this inside the object. Okay, let's see just here if it's will be looking differently. So 109, submit. Okay, now we have gym inside. So now we should model it in the route. Let's say update, and that's not the request body.gym. Okay, let's try to update it again. Edit, price 95. Okay, so we have to do it with the other route as well. Here where we have new gym .gym, save, and in the new route gym inside the object like that. Okay, let's try again. Let's try to see if we can put, for example, just $9. There we go. Something went wrong. We get answer here. Gym price must be greater than equal. Gym price must be greater than or equal to 10. Okay. And if we try to change it for free, okay, we can set up maximum price as well, but I'm not going to do it. Then it's working. Okay, so I think it's a good time to turn back on our validations as on the edit route right here. Okay, so now we won't be even able to send the wrong request. Okay, so the last thing that we have to do is to push our new changes to GitHub. Okay, I'm going to stop the application. I forgot to check out before, but we can do it right now. So it will be git checkout. A new branch will be stage 4 now. Errors and validations, just like this. Okay, now git add everything, git commit with the message react final form, because this would be really used on the front end. Okay, and then git push origin, and again the name of the branch. Now we can make a pull request on GitHub. Okay, stage errors and validation to main, create pull request, merge, confirm. Okay, pull request successfully merged. So here we can do git checkout main, git pull origin main. Okay, so the same thing for the backend. Stop the server. Git push origin stage for errors and validations. Creating pull request on the backend. Okay, error handling and joy schema, create pull request. Merge. Okay. Now we can do git checkout main. I have to use this command because I have multiple SSH keys and multiple accounts in GitHub, so to use credentials from particular part I need to add the command instead of just git pull origin and the branch name. It's origin. And I don't want to pull this branch, I want to pull main anyway. Okay. In the next video we are going to add reviews to our gyms. So thank you for watching and see you in the next part.